And we're back. Actually, I'm back. Marcus isn't here today. Sorry you're sick, Marcus. Is Marcus ever coming back? Horizontal man makes an appearance. Today we're going to talk about switching. Is that too close? Can you see that? This is a single pole switch. So this is what you see in your house, typically just a toggle, single pole toggle switch. And then I've got, here in my pocket, I've got a commercial three-way switch. So you can see that there's 3 screws on this switch. And we're going to talk about how to wire a three-way and what the difference is between a single pole and a three-way is. All right, we're going to start with a single pole switch. So we have our light. Right, that's our light bulb. And then we have our switch that has 2 terminals on it, single pole. Typically it's in a junction box. You're getting your power. Your power comes into the line side of the single pole switch. And then another black wire should come from the light. There should be a neutral wire that connects together. So you got inside this box, you'll have a black, white, and a bare, which is your ground that's coming in, and then a black, white, and a bare going out, typically in a single pole situation. So we have the neutral will go straight to the fixture, and then this one will come through back. The fixture actually will come up and into the medium base socket in this scenario. But this is a single pole switch. When you turn it on, it connects those two. And when you turn it off, it just makes the disconnect. There's a little lever in there that just makes the connection. Pretty simple. Where's my eraser? It's about as simple as it comes. You turn it off, it opens, turn it on, it closes. Light comes on, it just passes the power through the switch up to the light. It's just making and breaking that connection to turn the light on and off. Piece of cake, right? Right. All right, now let's talk about three-way switch. So a three-way switch, we've got your line, and three-way switches will come from the manufacturers differently. So let's talk about this 20 amp commercial grade one I got here. It has a different color screw. It's more of a brass than, it's more of a gold than a brass. Most manufacturers have like a black screw or a different color, and the other screws will be the same color. These 2 same color screws are what we call the travelers. This is where a lot of people get mixed up. So we have our line, which is, we talked about our switch. Your hot comes to the line side, which is in this case, the lower right screw. And then it has an upper right and an upper left. So these are the travelers. Now, essentially, these will go back through the box and then out to the other switch, which let's say is on the other side of the room. Hi, I'm over here now. So we have the same thing. We've got same exact switch. This now is where it comes from the light. So, my first light was better, I think. These 2 travelers are coming from this box from there. So essentially, this traveler is going to go to here. This traveler is going to go to here. And then this goes up into the light. And then your neutral can come from either side. So if you have a neutral over here, bring the neutral up here. So you think about before we had the switch going in, coming back the same direction, and then out. This one now it's like, hey, power source is coming in here. This is your power source. And then this is your switch leg. In the single pole switch that I talked to you about was power source, switch leg. It was all on the same device. This one is, now we've got a power source and our switch leg and 2 travelers connected in between. So what happens is this makes connection when this light switch is turned on. It'll make connection with one of these. And then that connects over here. And then if you switch this one, it moves that connection to this one. It kills this connection and sends it to this wire, which now goes back to nothing, turning the light off. So we've made the connection here, comes over, does nothing, lights off. If I turn the switch back on, then this one goes away and goes back to here, turning the power back on to the light. Are you following me? Go back over here, you turn this switch to the other position, it goes like this, and now the light switch is off because this wire doesn't connect to the thing. So you have to turn this switch to turn it back on, or you can go back to this side and say, oh, I'm going to turn the switch on again and connect this one, and now it's making that connection. So you can see how it works from two different directions. This is really important because sometimes when you have a three-way switch, we see it all the time, one switch doesn't work right. Well, they'll turn it on here. Okay, it's on. Then they go over here and they turn it off and it's off. But then they come back here and they turn it on and it doesn't work because what they have done is they've taken the traveler and confused it with either a switch leg or the power source, the line or the load. If you take a traveler to one of these load screws, then you start to move the voltage around in ways that you don't understand, that don't make the switches work properly. So you got to make sure that your two travelers go from point A to point B and not get confused. Does that make sense? Yes. Kayla's like, maybe. So let's say we do this. We got our three screws. We're going to take one to here, one to here, and now we'll take our switch leg to here. So when we connect our switch, it's this wire. It's connecting to here. So now you see that this is on, making the power go through to this one, and this is on. Now that makes the light turn off. But if I turn that switch off, it's killing this and making it here. Now it's off. So now the power is going back to here. I turn the switch, change the switch, and now the light's not getting power. Maybe we'll come up with a better way to explain, but now the power is just going in, back down through the switch and coming back through the traveler. It's not going out the other path. So you got to have those travelers for talking to each other. Otherwise, you're just going to have a path that goes back to the same switch. The light doesn't work until I make the change here, back to here. Now we go over to here. We flip this one on, changing it to here. Now the light's on. And that we get questions like that all the time. My switches don't work, and there's multiple locations. It's because the electrician that wired it doesn't understand the standard, a simple three-way diagram, which is what we discussed. Now, to throw things in a little bit more, what if we wanted to add a switch somewhere else? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Now we can throw a four-way switch pretty much in anywhere. Four-way switch has travelers both top and bottom, so you're just going to want to put that switch in. That switch is kind of a $sign signal. So now I can turn that switch, alternates just the same way as the three ways. It helps me move them back and forth. So you can operate one light from a single power source from 3, 4, 5, 6, sky's the limit on location. The three-way doesn't have an up or a top or a bottom or an off, an on. It doesn't show anything like the single pole does show off. So there's a top and a bottom to this switch, not necessarily this switch. So essentially this is on now, it's off. If I go to the third location, I can turn this down. So now both switches are in the off position, but the lights are on. So you're never gonna have that I guess the same function as a toggle switch, which is on, up always means on. But if you do it right, your switches will work from both locations. And I like to test it 3 times in a row just to make sure that it's operating properly. So that's how to do it. I hope that helped. If you have any questions, put them in the link below and we'll make it easy. We'll make it simpler next time, I guess. I don't know. Thanks for watching.